Hello everyone, I am Kiran Joshi. Welcome you all in class 5 EVS chapter Towards Independence. As it is understood from the title, this chapter will explain the events that finally took the country towards the freedom from British rule. In the previous lesson, we learnt about the Indian National Congress and its leaders, the partition of Bengal, Swadeshi Andolan, and the coming of Gandhiji from South Africa. Let's learn further. Children, we learnt that Mahatma Gandhi returned from South Africa in 1915. Then he travelled all over the country to know and understand the problems of the people of India. He wanted to know the difficulty of the Indian people faced. Actually, children, Gandhiji had promised Gopal Krishna Gokhale, who was his political coach, that he would not write or speak on India for a year until he had travelled around the country and familiarized with its problems and difficulties. So, when he travelled, he became very upset to see that the people were living in poverty. He also found that the society was in a grip of many evils. For example, there was discrimination on the basis of caste and religion. Drinking alcohol was another evil that was causing great harm to the society. All these problems disturbed him a lot, and he decided that he would fight against the British rule and would also struggle against the social and religious evils in the society. Children, as I told you in the previous video, that on 6th February 1919, the British passed the Rowlatt Act. According to this act, the British government could put anyone in the jail without a trial, or the police could search any place without a warrant. Also, according to this Rowlatt Act, more than five people could not gather at one place. On 13 April 1919, people in large numbers gathered at Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar for a peaceful protest against the arrest of two nationalist leaders, Dr. Satyapal and Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu. But suddenly, a British officer, General Dyer, entered the park with his troops, blocked the only entrance of the park, and ordered his soldiers to fire at the people gathered there. Hundreds of men, women, and children died, and thousands were injured because there was no way for them to escape. This incident came to be known as the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. This incident put the whole country in deep shock. In 1920, Mahatma Gandhi launched a new program of struggle against the British government. It was called the Non Cooperation Movement. This movement was a call for people to peacefully disobey the British laws. The non cooperation movement asked the people to refuse to work or cooperate with the British. People began boycotting British goods. Foreign goods were burnt at many places. Many students stopped attending their schools and colleges and gave up their studies. Some people gave up government jobs. In this way, the non cooperation movement was a policy of non violence and non cooperation against the British rules. This movement had a powerful impact on the country, and the British government adopted tough measures to control this movement. Children, many young Indians also joined the freedom struggle. With Gandhiji, for example, Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, Sarojini Naidu, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad. In 1930, Gandhiji launched the civil disobedience movement with the historic Dandi March. Actually, children, the British government had imposed a salt law on Indians. According to this law, only the British had the right to make salt in India, and Indians were not allowed to manufacture salt. Moreover, heavy taxes were levied on the purchase of salt. Gandhiji and his supporters felt that the salt law was very unjust. So, to protest against this law, Mahatma Gandhi, along with thousands of his supporters, walked almost 400 kilometers from his Sabarmati ashram to coastal town of Dandi. This walk or march is popularly known as Dandi March. There he picked up a handful of salt which was gathered by boiling and evaporating seawater. Thus, he broke the salt law. This led to the civil disobedience movement. The movement spread throughout the country. Thousands of people were arrested and sent to jail by the British government. When Gandhiji and his supporters were protesting against the British following the non-violence movement methods, there were some other leaders who believed that independence could not be achieved just by being non-violent. These were known as revolutionary leaders. Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Chandrasekhar Azad, Sukhdev, Ram Prasad Bismil were some prominent revolutionary leaders. Subhash Chandra Bose started the Indian National Army or the Azad Hind Fauj in Singapore in 1943 and influenced the freedom struggle from there. He gave the famous slogan Jai Hind, meaning victory to India. Meanwhile, the Congress decided to compel the British to grant complete independence to India, and for this, under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, it launched the Quit India movement in 1942. Mahatma Gandhi urged people to do or die, meaning karo ya maro, in order to force the British to leave India. The British government arrested and jailed many leaders such as Gandhiji, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, Indira Gandhi, etc. The Quit India movement showed the British the deep nationalist feeling and the capacity for sacrifice of the Indian people. Through this movement, Indians showed again their intense desire for complete independence from British rule. Finally, the British agreed to leave India. Children, at that time, the Muslim leaders started demanding for the partition of the country and creation of a separate Muslim nation as Pakistan. Ultimately, the British decided to divide the country into two independent states, India and Pakistan. Several communal riots occurred during the partition. Lakhs of people were displaced, lost their properties and lives. On 14th August 1947, Pakistan was formed, and on 15th August 1947, India got its independence. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru became the first Prime Minister, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad became the first President of independent India. Lord Mountbatten, who was the last Viceroy of British India, was declared as the first Governor General of Free India. That's all for this chapter. If you liked this video and found it useful, please write in the comment section below and do subscribe to the channel. Thank you.